Greetings. My name is Vesime, and I am your co-host for today's podcast. Today is an exciting day because it's our first day of our Book of the Month format of our podcast. Each month, we're going to be sharing with you thoughts from books that we think would be beneficial for you to gain a little bit more information and beneficial for your health and loved ones around you.
And if this is your first time joining, I'm Daphne, and I'm the other part of the Perfectly Planted team, and we appreciate you being here with us today. And if you've previously joined us, thanks for returning for another episode. Our goal is to provide you with seedlings of knowledge and empowerment so that you can lead your best life. We're trying to do that in 15-minute segments, and we've got a lot to cover today. So let's get on with today's conversation.
That's right, Daphne. Let's introduce you to the first book. Our last podcast, we talked about it. It's called The 30-Day Alzheimer's Solution by Dr. Sherzai, Ayesha Sherzai. Since it's only 15 minutes, Daphne, we're definitely going to dive in here and cover the first part of the book in this podcast. It introduces a plan to improve your health and your brain power and brain health through various ways and their neuro plan. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a second. But also it breaks through some of the myths. So I know so many people who do those fad diets, and some diets they don't call it fad because they do it constantly. So I'm talking about the paleos, the ketos, the Atkins type. And some of those, I think that this book outlines great scientific conclusions and research that talk to us about and inform us about why those fad diets are not so beneficial for our health.
And just to give you some background, so we've been following the Sherzais for some time, and you may recall from a prior podcast that we actually shared their book and we're referencing some of the principles that we're going to highlight today. But in terms of introducing Doctors Ayesha and Dean Sherzai, Dr. Ayesha Sherzai has a dual residency in preventive medicine, neurology, and in culinary medicine. So she's a triple doctor. And then Dr. Dean Sherzai has a background in molecular research. He's run multiple clinical trials, and they're currently both now practicing at Loma Linda University. But what I really appreciate about their work and about what we're going to share today is that a lot of it is informed by real community involvement. So it's not just the academic type of research. It's not the research based off what's new on social media. It's backed by research, and it's supported by their work in the communities they serve and trying to optimize the health of residents in the Loma Linda area. And every time we do this podcast and we prepare to share what we learn with you, I learned something new. So I was amazed to learn that there are nearly 6 million people in the United States living with Alzheimer's or other types of early onset or mild cognitive impairment. And the scary part is that these numbers continue to increase. And if any of you have family members or have had family members who have had dementia or diseases that progress to an Alzheimer's type of dementia, you know the impact this has on families. So any way we can mitigate or prevent mild cognitive impairment from progressing or even developing, that has a significant impact on families nationwide. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it is tied to what we eat. I remember growing up and having the dinner from Kentucky Fried Chicken and really enjoying that dinner from Kentucky Fried Chicken. And a lot of people still do. And it's not that that is bad, but we'll contrast that with the benefits of having a meal such as a chickpea curry and a very hearty salad. And not only just what you're going to eat, but also the community that can be developed by putting down your cell phones and actually having a conversation during dinner. Mm-hmm. So similar to the principles that we introduce for Perfectly Planted, the Sherzais have a guiding principle which they call neuro, and neuro stands for NEURO. And while I'm talking, let me just share my screen so that you can see what we're talking about. And the N stands for nutrition, the E stands for exercise, the U unwind, R for restore, and the O for optimize.
So Daphne, the benefits of the Neuro Boost also, so we're going to cover the N only here, and it's going to take our full 15 minutes, even probably may even take longer. Originally we were doing 10-ish minutes, but for 15 minutes here. The benefits of the Neuro Boost, it creates the stronger immunity. It also provides this sleep prevention or sleep deprivation. You're going to end up getting better sleep, better eating habits, restorative sleep, and also optimizing your just your lifestyle. So I remember they talk about a superhuman calm in this of the benefits of the neuro. And I recall when I originally did Veganuary, how you asked me how I was feeling, and eliminating the animal protein and animal products completely, I thought that it just made me feel so much more calm. And I think that that's just one of the benefits that you get, and you're thinking clearer as well. Now, I can't give the scientific research of why specifically I did. I just relate to that superhuman calm that they talk about in this book. And we'll emphasize that absolutely grab yourself a copy of this book because it gives you so much more. It outlines so many other great benefits plus recipes that we'll get to later in our next podcast.
And talking about recipes, and again, we're focusing mainly on the N, which is the nutrition. The Sherzai summarize 9 food groups that we would love to encourage you to eat if you're not already eating, but they feel that they are important to maintaining good brain health or maintaining cognitive health. And you can imagine the 9 because Veggie Vest has gone over them multiple times. They're your green leafy veggies, your whole grains, your seeds, your beans and legumes, your berries, your nuts, your crucifers being broccoli or cauliflower, healthy teas, and then herbs and spices.
So healthy teas being the black tea, green tea, oolong tea are the 3. I have to try oolong tea, definitely.
I haven't tried oolong tea either, so we can try that together.
Yeah.
And a key part of the Sherzai's recommendations include 7 rules for eating. And Vesime, can you go over those rules?
Yeah, absolutely. So here are the 7 rules. I'm going to read them to you all. So eat a plant-based diet. That's number 1. Number 2 is avoid saturated fats, avoid refined whites, reduce salt, and use herbs and spices in place of salt, and avoid processed foods. So they give an example of like when you take a processed food is like you take wheat and you turn it into a wheat thin. That's no good for our bodies. Drink water. And Daphne, I would love to hear your suggestion on how much water to drink if you're willing to share that. And then also the last is eat homemade meals. So that goes back to your example, Daphne, about Kentucky Fried Chicken or takeout, DoorDash, whatever people do, Grubhub. We don't receive any money from any of those people, but those carry out foods that you eat at home don't count as a homemade meal. It's a meal that you actually cook, and each of the ingredients that you make at home is very important.
So 2 things to comment on there. We're not here to ask you to become vegan, although we would definitely love it if you would explore a vegan-based nutrition plan. But we really want you to add more plants to your plate. And if you can adopt a plant-based diet, I think in the next couple of book reviews, we're going to share more information on why you don't necessarily need animal protein in your diet. Again, it's for you to make that decision for you and your family. But if nothing else, please consider adding more plants to your plate. And on top of that, I think I want to highlight is part of those 7 rules, reducing salt. There is so much salt that is added to our hyper-processed foods that we eat today. And I'm sure that if you try some of the recipes in the Sherzai's book or some of the other books that we're going to review over the next several months, you may notice that maybe they don't taste the same. And it's likely because you've become accustomed to eating foods that are highly salted. So your palate will adopt over time, but we would encourage you to reduce your salt, take the salt shaker off the table, and substitute herbs and spices to really give you those rich flavors that are really what contribute to making foods very palatable. You don't need all of the salt that is in a lot of the processed foods we eat today. And that's as far as water. I mean, it's all over the spectrum when you hear the recommendations. You drink 8 glasses a day, you drink 10 glasses a day, you drink what makes you feel comfortable. I try and encourage people to have, to wake up in the morning and have that glass of water, that glass of maybe lemon tea, oolong tea, green tea. Start your day with a good, healthy 8-ounce glass of water or a water-based beverage. And then try and have at least 5 of those a day at minimum. I know a lot of people drink other things during the day, but if you can have as much water as possible or beverages that are water based, like the teas that the Sherzai's advocate for, that would be my recommendation. And don't wait till you're thirsty, because usually by the time you're thirsty, it means you're a little bit behind in drinking your water. So, I always keep my water bottle with me, and I probably go through 3 or 4 of these a day.
That's right, Daphne. So I ask because it is all over the spectrum, but just increasing your water intake is so important. And also some of the benefits could potentially boost your metabolism. So again, I don't have any research to back behind that, but I do know that this book, the 30-day plan, actually does talk about the benefits of drinking water and plain water. So whether it's a water base, more like tea, but don't think that it's water because like some other beverage has a little bit of water in it. That doesn't count. Also, anything that you add to it. So if you're going to add that processed, flavored drink, I can't give names. Maybe I can, like a lemonade and it's water based. That doesn't count. That's added sugar, added chemicals. Also, soda is not counted because water. It's liquid. It's not water. So just plain water, just increase your plain water intake. You're going to notice a huge change in not only your energy level, but also your skin, and your body's just going to feel so much better. So definitely, I 100% back that. Daphne, we just covered N, and I know that this book covers so much more than that. They actually have the neuro plan. They talk you through. It's a 30-day trial. So if you all want to try that, I highly encourage comment, send us a message, an email, and let us know, because we can absolutely put together a 30-day plan for all of us to track and encourage each other and coach each other on. I have not specifically done the neuro plan for 30 days, but I have, as you all know, done the Veganuary, which was amazing, and I think had reset my body quite well. So there's so much more to cover. I feel like each time I read this book, I learn something new each time. So it's been a joy reading it, and I hope all of our viewers and listeners get a copy of it as well.
I agree, Vesime. And next time we'll continue to cover the benefits of the neuroplan. And I want to say last spring or last fall, they actually did a community challenge where you could sign up and participate in the neuroplan, use the app, complete some of their surveys. So I did participate in that in the early days of the neuroplan. And I agree with you. I learned something new every day. But I think the most important thing that we can emphasize, and which the Sherzais also emphasize in their book, is that start and take one step at a time. So we've spoken about SMART goals. We mentioned the fact that it's small steps to make big changes. And we're not saying that you need to look at any URO and make a change in each one of those today, because you'll just get overwhelmed. The opportunity here is to incorporate the recommendations into your life and the lives of those you love, but do it one step at a time. And making those small steps will be more likely to make it stick and to make it a behavior change that you can sustain. So we definitely would encourage you to purchase the book from your local bookseller. We'll put the links to the website and to the neuroplan out on our blog so that you can go and look at the references there. And as you see, I have up on the screen, they have an incredible website with lots of other references for you to leverage and learn at your leisure. And just a reminder, as we mentioned, that for the next few months, we're going to be continuing to review different books. And part of it is keeping us accountable because Vesime and I both are trying to do more reading. But the other part is to share what we learn with you and to encourage you to explore some of these books if you're not already exploring them. So next week, we'll delve a little bit more deeply into some of the nutrition recommendations from the Sherzais. And we'll also touch on the EURO, because I think they all are intersecting circles of opportunity. And then the following podcast will actually be diving into a little bit and exploring not only about nutrition, but about how what we eat impacts our environment. And we'll be discussing Susie Cameron's OMD plan book. And if you don't already have that, or if you haven't already explored that, we definitely would encourage you to take a look at that before our June podcast.
That's right, Daphne. So once again, thank you all for joining us. We went a little bit over our 15 minutes, but I think there was so much information and such great information for everybody to understand and to learn a little bit more. So we want to hear from you. Please send your comments, your likes, share with us. Again, our blog is perfectlyplanted22.com, where you'll see this post and any additional recipes and things that we post. Our Instagram is at It's Perfectly Planted. And we are on Facebook at Perfectly Planted. So please share your comments and messages and let us know what you think. And if you have the book, please let us know your thoughts as well and what you've learned. So thank you all so much for joining us today. And so excited for next time, Daphne. We're going to have great tips, and it really digs in a little bit more on that nutrition and additional the rest of the neuroplan, like you mentioned. So be well, everyone. We look forward to next time.